Listen only mode.
Swagatam. Vraspati Vasaraha. I think today is the Dvitiyam Dinam Asya Masasya. 2nd of June, Thursday evening, Raghuvamsham Kavyam. Alistu Mangalacharanam. Ramo Rajamanis Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje. Ramena Vihata Nishachara Chamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha. Rama Nasti Parayanam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham. Rame Chittale Sada Bhautame Bho Rama Mamuddhara. Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame. Sahasranama Tattalyam Rama Nama Varanane. Shri Rama Nama Varanana Om Nama Iti. Atha Shri Mahashra Sutrani A I N R Rak E Ong I Ouch Ha Yava Rak Lan Nyamang Na Nam Javain Garadash Jaba Garadash Kapha Cha Cha Tha Cha Cha Thav Kapai Sha Sha Sal Hal Iti Mahashra Sutrani. Okay. Now we're looking at this shlokaha, Shadashiti Tamashlokaha, Shadashiti Tamashlokaha, 86th shlokaha. So let's first Patanam Uchaihi Nirdosham Shanaihi Patanam Vasmasat Tutavataha Pitrudvishaha Patrasachya Vasudham Sasagaram Ahito Jaya Viparjayo Pime Shlagya Eva Parameshchana Tvaya Vasmasat Krutavataha Pitrudvishaha Patrasachya Vasudham Sasagaram Ahito Jaya Viparjayo Pime Shlagya Eva Parameshchana Tvaya. Padacheda here is Vasmasat Krutavataha Pitrudvishaha Patrasat Cha. The Bhadishta and the Sandhi rules, you should be very familiar with this. Again, I mentioned almost in every class I'm mentioning that these daily examples which are coming to you every day, please try to follow them, understand them if you can, because all the Sandhi rules have already been done here. Subandha Prakaranam has been done. So Sampratam Tingantam Prakaranam Pachyate. So Tingantam Prakaranam is being done. So this is going to be the backbone of all the classes because they are going to be archived and saved and you can copy, paste, and look at them. So Sandhi rules, Subandha rules, now we will mention only briefly in this class. There already be even other things which we have mentioned before. You don't have to spend time because here we have a simple Sandhi over here, which is the Patrasat Cha. Patrasat Cha, basically it becomes this Jalam Yashwante, Patrasat Cha, then becomes the Stoshchunashchuhu and becomes Jakara, and then becomes the Chakara by Kharicha. So let's see if you want to put in the document quickly. So Patra Sat Cha Sandhi rule. I just put the numbers here. Patra Sat plus Cha. Patra Sat plus Cha. So Patra Sat Cha. So that equals to Patra Sat Cha. So the steps for that. First we apply the Jalam Yashwante, Takara becomes the Dakara, Jalam Yashwante. After that, we get the Stosh Chunashcho, because when the dental comes in contact with the Chavarga or the Talavya Shakara, the dental is weak. So Stosh Chunashcho, the sutram here is 8440, 8440, 8440, 8440, Stosh Chunashcho. Again, Ashta in the Tripadi section, we can only go forward, cannot go back. So 8440 Sutram Stosh Chunashcho. You look at the right number, I'm sorry, 8440 says that Sakarata Vargayoho, Shakara Chavargabhyam Yoge. Which can come in contact with any of these. Sakara or Tavarga can come in contact with any of these. Shakara Chavargostaha, it gets the Adeshaha. So that becomes, it become into a Jakaraha. And finally, of course, we'll get Kharicha. Kharicha will become into a Chakara again. Let's put the numbers down here. So, Gesto Shunashcho becomes Jakara, then Kharicha, I think 8455, Kharicha becomes a Chakara. So that is the Sandhi rules here. Again, if you want to practice, go back to the archives of the examples. Plenty of examples have been given over there of these rules, and you also have the recordings, Kharicha. Okay, so let's continue. So Patra Sat Cha became, then Vasudham Sasagaram Ahitaha Jaya Viparyayaha, Jaya Viparyayaha. So samastam padam. Api me shlagya, shlagya eva parameshchina tvaya. Of course, here Jaya Viparyayopi, this is also straightforward. If for Jaya Viparyayas, then we have to do the Sasajusho Ruho, and then we get Hashicha. Sorry, not Hashicha. We get Atoror Plutara Plute, Atoror Plutara Plute. So I'll just maybe put the numbers here also. This should be, also you have many examples of this also in the archives. So Jaya Viparyayaha. Viparya means opposite. Viparyayaha. Viparyayaha. Vipari plus dhatu, maybe E over here. So Jaya Viparyayaha is the E is to go. Viparyayaha means to go opposite. Viparyayaha. Jaya Viparyayaha. Actually Viparyayas plus api. We can decline that. Plus api. And we get Jaya Viparyayopi. Viparyayopi. So first thing, so we got akara on both sides. So we're going to get here Viparyayopi. Okay. So here we have, first you have to get the, of course, Sasajusho Ruho. After that, Anubandha Lopaha. Then we get Atoror Plutada Plute. When you have akara on both sides, becomes a Ukara Desha. Atoror Plutada Plute. So 61113, 61113. Atoror Plutada Plute. So this is the get the, because the Ut Anuvritti comes down from here. Take the sandhi of Shivoham. Shivoham sandhi. Shivoham. Shivas plus aham becomes Shivoham. And then you get the Adgunaha, and then Engaf Padanta Dati, Please practice these rules. I want to keep on mentioning them to you because the more rules that you know, you feel less afraid of Panini grammar. So Bhayan Najayat Paschat. So Engaf Padanta Dati. When you have a Padanta Eng, followed by the Akara, there's Pura Purayoho Ekadeshaha, which is the Pura Rupam. Anuvritti of Purvaha comes from Ami Purvaha. So Engaf Padanta Dati. Again, this has all been covered in detail in the examples, daily examples. So it's like Shivoham Sandhi. So we get Sasajusho Ruho, then get the Atoror Putara Plute Ukara Deshaha, then Adgunaha Guna Sandhi, then Engaf Padanta Dati. So that's one Sandhi. The other one here also is straightforward, which is the, so at least Sandhi rules you can practice now. See, no matter how difficult the text is, it might be Vedanta Bhashyam, it might be Veda Bhashyam, it might be, Ramayanam, it might be Bhagavata Puranam. You can still practice all your Sandhi rules with confidence. Of course, once in a while you may have Arsha Sandhi. That is fine. But at least 90% of the time, you can work all your rules and you can, get those forms. So you don't have, no matter if it's Kalidasa or whoever it might be, they have to all follow the same Sandhi rules. So even if it's Kalidasa, doesn't mean he cannot follow Ad Gunaha. He also has to follow Ad Gunaha also. So same rules have to be followed. So please use these examples and practice. Now, Shlagya Eva. Here clearly, this is against the Sasajusho Ruho. Then you get Bho Bhago Agho Apurvasya Yoshi Lopa Shakalyasya. And because of Purvatra Siddham, you don't get the Vriddhirechi. So that's in brief the sandhis for this shloka. So Shlagya Eva. It is Shlagyas plus Eva. Shlagyas plus Eva. So here again we have to do Shlagya Eva. So this is the one more lesson which I always mention is that whenever you see a vowel like this, the Ekaraha. So it is, and it is not at the beginning of a sentence, which has not combined with the prior element. It has not combined with the Akara here. How is that possible? In this, unlike like in Hindi, etc., you cannot have a naked vowel like that sitting here. It has to combine with the prior element. So here we should say, of course, if the prior element is a consonant, we just join the two only. But if it's an ach, it should be an ach sandhi. So ach sandhi na drishyate. Tasmad atra chintaniyam. Kasmat karanat ekaraha evam tishtate. Vakyasya madhya evam tishtate. Sandhir vina. How can it be, you can without the sandhi, I shouldn't say sandhir vina, sandhi vina. So So how can it be like that? So sandhim vina, dvitiya. Sandhim vina katam tishtate. How tishtati? Sandhim vina katam tishtati ekaraha. How can it stay like that? So that is a red flag for you. Sandhim vina nasthatum arhati. Should not stand like that. Sandhim vina. So then why has it not been vriddhi rechi over here? That's the question. That means something must have happened. And most likely it's going to purvatra siddham. It is most likely some variety of purvatra siddham has happened. Because something is blocking the vriddhi rechi from applying over here. So it's going to purvatra siddham. In our case, of course, it is going to be the lopa shakalyasya. So shlagya eva. So just put the numbers here. You get sasajusho ruho, then bho bhago agho apurasya yoshi lopa shakalyasya. And then because of purvatra siddham, so purvatra siddham is the one which stops the vriddhi rechi from taking place. So here what we have is that we have the sasajusho ruho, then we get bho bhago agho apurvasya yoshi. So if you have a avarana purva ru, then it takes the yakara adesha yoshi. And then after that, so we have shlag ru, become yakaraha. Then after that, lopa shakalyasya, the padanta, you have padanta yakaraha, preceded by the avaranaha, takes and then ashiparataha. Look at the vritti of it. In any sutram, please try to first before applying any sutram, try to look at the vritti, please. Make it a habit. Any sutram in the class, we don't have limited amount of time, so we cannot do for every sutram. Look at the vritti. And the vritti, I think Siddhanta Kaumudi probably should be given top priority. After that, we don't have right now the entire online Siddhanta Kaumudi, though people are working on it. We may have it soon. We can look at here it says, avarana purva yoho, padanta yoho, yava yoho, lopo va ashipare. So all of these are meant to be memorized. They're extremely precise. A lot of work goes into this. So please pay your tribute to the acharyas who spend their life composing vrittis for us. So it is avarana purva yoho, padanta yoho, yava yoho, lopo bhavati va ashipare. So what we have here is that we had shlagyai plus eva, we have a padanta yakara, which is avarana purvaha, which has the avarana purvam to that, prior to that avaranaha, and then we get the va lopaha, ashiparataha. Of course, ashi is all vowels plus of consonant. Yes, Vasu.
On the Kashika,
yes.
Asa Aditya.
Yes.
Is it Asa Aditya, Asau Aditya?
There are two forms, right? Because, asau plus aditya becomes, it'll become echo yava become asa aditya, but you get lopa shakalyasya, you get asa aditya also, second form.
That's also lopa shakalyasya.
The same. But actually, as a practical matter in the language, most of the time the yakara only takes lopaha, the vakara does not. So this is something which is like a vyavastha in the language. When the lopa shakalyasya says yakara vakara yoho, but vastutaha bhashayam prayena yakarasya eva lopa drishyate, natu vakarasya. So yakarasya sarvatra lopa bhavati, vakarasya na bhavati iti vyavastha drishyate bhashayam. This is the vyavastha that we have, is that example Vasu is talking about asau plus aditya, if we become asa aditya, you will almost never see that. I have never seen an example. I have never seen a single example where you have the vakara lopaha. And I have not seen a single example where the yakara lopa doesn't occur. So in every example, for lopa shakalyasya rule, the yakara lopa happens every place. And the vakara lopa doesn't happen anywhere. So that is the vyavastha. So the vakara always stays when the yakara always takes lopa. So this lopa shakalyasya definitely has a vyavastha to it, where even though lopa shakalyasya means yakara vakara yoho, but this vakara lopa is almost never happens, and yakara loka almost always happens. Of course, here when we apply the bho bhago agha purvasya yoshi, we get yakara only. So in that case, we're going to have the yakara lopa. Okay. So this one we have now purvatra siddham, that yakara lopa asiddha. So this vriddhi rechi will still keep on seeing the yakara there. You cannot apply. So this is the last part is the key. Purvatra them, which is what is stopping that. So, okay. Anyway, you have plenty of examples, daily examples. I'm just kind of, revising for you. That's the sandhi going over here. Let's look at Mulinath. What does Mulinatha say? Now, Pitrudvishaha. So, what is the vibhakti here? Pitrudvishaha. So, Pitrudvishaha says Pitru Vairinaha Basmasat Krutavataha. Pitrudvishaha. This is the Dvitiya Bhavashanam. Pitrudvishaha. Pitrudvishaha Basmasat Krutavataha. And then, so what are the choices here? What are the choices here? The choices could be, it could be Pitrudvish Pratipadikam, Pitrudvish. So Dvish is, Dveshti is Dvish. Dvish means a Shatru, is an enemy. So, so this could be if you decline Pitrudvish, become Pitrudvit, Pitrudvishau, Pitrudvishaha, Pitrudvisham, Pitrudvishau, Pitrudvishaha, and then again also in the Panchami Shashti Ekvachanam also the Pitrudvishaha. So now the interesting thing is that you have this one Basmasat Krutavataha. That this is a Shashti Ekvachanam may. If you look at the Anvaya which Mulinatha is doing here, Pitrudvishaha Basmasat Krutavataha, this is Shashti. And then again there's one more clause here which is Sasagaram Vasudham cha Patrasat Patradhinam Deyam Krutavataha. These two Krutavataha have been placed before May. So May is Shashti Ekvachanam here. So Krutakrutyasya May. So this is the Shashti Ekvachanam is May. And this May of Shashti Ekvachanam is for me, who has done these two things. So that this Krutavataha, which is the Patrasat Krutavataha is Shashti, that is in Samadhikaranam with May. And same thing over here, Basmasa Krutavataha also is Shashti. And there also is the Samadhikaranam with May. But Pitrudvishaha is not a Shashti Ekvachanam. Pitrudvishaha, because look at the placement of Pitrudvishaha. Pitrudvish is not referring to Parashuramaha. This May, of course, is Parashuramasya May. So Mama is for Mama May. So Pitrudvish, of course, is talking about the enemies of his father. So this is not in Samadhikaranam with Parashuramaha. This May is referring to Parashuramaha. And so is Basmasat Krutavataha. And so is Patrasat Krutavataha. So these two are, Samadhikaranam with May. So the choices for Pitrudvishaha, it could have been Shashti Ekvachanam, it could have been Panchami Ekvachanam, it can be Prathama Bhavachanam, it can be Dvitiya Bhavachanam. Because the Pratyaya Jas, Prathama Bhavachanam, Anubandha Lope As. Same thing, Dvitiya Bhavachanam, Pratyaya Shas, Anubandha Lope As. Same thing, Shashti, Panchami Ekvachanam, the Pratyaya is Nyasi, Anubandha Lope As. Means when you remove the it letters. And also in the Shashti Ekvachanam, the Pratyaya is Nyas, Anubandha Lope As. So in all these four cases, whether it's Prathama Bhavachanam, Dvitiya Bhavachanam, Panchami Ekvachanam, Shashti Ekvachanam, they all give the form of As. They have different it letters. Of course, the Pratyayas might change. So in the word of Pitrudvish, this has four possibilities. But given the context of the sentence is that it is the object of Basmasat Krutavataha. Sat Krutavataha. So Krutavataha, this Krutavataha. So for me, who reduced or converted my father's enemies into ashes, for me. So now let us so Pitrudvishaha is Dvitiya Bhavachanam. Pitrudvish plus Shas Dvitiya Bhavachanam says Pitru Vairinaha. So Pitru Vairinaha. And this is a simple, should be a straightforward Samasaha, Shashti Tatpurushaha. The most common Samasa in the whole language, Shashti Tatpurushaha, the enemies of my father. Enemies of my father. So Vigraha Vakyam will be very straightforward. It's Pituho. Pituhu Dvishaha, Pitrudvishaha. So this is Shashti Tatpurusha Samasaha. You will not be given a Vigraha Vakyam, which is the most simple compound in the whole language. So the enemies of my father is Pituho, means Shashti Ekvachanam, Pituho Dvishaha, Pitrudvishaha. And then Tan It is Dvitiya Bahuvachanam. Okay. Bhasmasat Kritavataha. What's the commentary here? Is Kopena Bhasmi Kritavataha. It gives a sutram here. Vibhasha Sati Kartsne. It is Sati Pratyaya. Before we go any further, Bhagavad Gita example, always keep Bhagavad Gita in your mind at all times. So, Sada Swarnam Bhavet. Gitayaha Shlokanam Swarnam Sada Bhavet. So, Ayam Pratyaya Kutra Drishyate Gitayam iti Prashtavyam. Anveshanam Kartavyam. You have to find out. And there's in chapter 6, in chapter 4 of Gita, there is this Yate Dhamsi Samidho Nirbhasmasat Kurute Jana. Jnanami sarva karmani bhasmasat kurute tatha. Nahi jnanyan sadrisham pavitram iha vidyate tatsvayam yoga samsiddhaha. Here it will be. Yathe dhamsi samidhognir bhasmasat kurute arjuna. Just like, ignited fuel. Bhasmasat, yathe dhamsi samidhognir. So agni samidha, blazing fire. Edhamsi, which is a fuel. Bhasmasat kurute, reduces it to ashes. Similarly, jnana agni, the knowledge, the fire in the form of knowledge, reduces all actions to ashes. Reduces, converts them completely, to convert completely into something else, converts completely into ashes. This form bhasmasat. So bhasmasat comes in Gita in 4.37. So if it is known to you, bhasmasat, always try to connect the sutram to the Gita shloka. So it will make it easy to remember. I mean, you chant the Gita if you can. Try to. Okay, Bhasmasat. Okay, Bhasmasat comes in. It is in Gita 437. Bhasmasat Kurute Arjuna. Bhasmasat Kurute Arjuna. Jnanagni sarva karmani Bhasmasat Kurute tatha. And what is the commentary of Malinatha here? He says that Bhasmasat. He gives a sutram. Vivasha Sati Kartsnye. It is Sati Pratyaya. So every sutram which Mulinatha gives, we should make sure we understand what he's talking about. Why do we need the sutram? Again, Mulinatha will not give the easy rules. Particularly, we are right now in chapter 11, 12 of the Raghuvamsham, chapter 11. In the beginning, he would have given more information, but he will not repeat in every adhyaya the same forms. So right now, he's only going to give the importance. Only Vishesha Sutrani. Only the Vishesha Sutrani diyante sampratam. Natu samanyani, not the easy ones. So Vibhasha Sati Karsne 5452. It is Sati Pratyaya. What you can also do, you can go to the Dictionary of Sanskrit Grammar. It's a very nice English book which gives you all these pratyayas, in what meanings they come, and which sutram is there. So if you know the pratyaya Sati, and let me just give an example right now. Pratyaya Sati. I'm looking at the Dictionary of Sanskrit Grammar. Professor Abhyankar. It's a very, very nice reference book. All of you should have these books because they are very, very, very useful. And these are great scholars who wrote these books for us so we can understand quickly. So Sati. Tadita affix in the sense of entirety with respect to the occurrence of a thing where it was not before. So you convert something into something which was not before. So entirely is that Agnisad Bhavati, so on. Okay. And the second meaning is that, which also we're going to see here in this year, is a different meaning here now. Patra Sat, this is what, because some of these shlokas of Kalidasa also, are meant to teach us grammar. So clearly she's showing us how the Sati Pratyaya can be used in two meanings. So this is clearly a grammar lesson going on here. Vyakarana Shiksha. So it is the Sat, because Bhasmasat is, ekasmin arthe, and Patrasad is the anyasmin arthe. It's a different meaning. So as I always tell you, when you add a pratyaya, always ask yourself, in what meaning is the pratyaya being used? Don't just because you got the form doesn't mean that you got everything. So Bhasmasat and Patrasad are in different meanings. Bhasmasat, Patrasad. If you look at again the Dictionary of Sanskrit Grammar, he says second meaning is that these are fixed in the sense of handing over or entrusting some. Rajasat bhavati, Brahmanasat karoti. Entrust something. Okay, let's look at these two rules in Ashtadhyayi. So the English meaning is that for me, who basically converted entirely the enemies of my father into ashes, and for me, who handed over handed over the entire earth along with the oceans, along with the oceans. So handed over unto the deserving ones. So patram is one who deserves. So patra means fit recipients. So this is the patra sat, to hand over, to make over something which is to be given, to entrust. So for me, who entrusted the earth with the oceans unto those who deserve to have it. And for me, who converted my father's enemies into ashes completely. For me, this Jaya Viparyaha means the opposite of Jaya means going to be Parajaya. This defeat which has been brought about by you, Ahitaha, Ishlagya eva. It is actually praiseworthy. So simple sentence is that is you supply, there is no verb. Tingantam padam atrana drishyate. The tingantam padam. You have to, so if there is no tingantam padam, you can look at the context, bring something down from the prior shloka somewhere. Otherwise, you supply dhatu, bhu, us, or with, it is. So you just supply bhavati atva bhavet, So this defeat basically at your hands. Tvaya ahitaha. This defeat which has been brought about by you. This defeat which ahita means kind of placed. Ahitaha, we'll look at ahita in a second, is praiseworthy for me. So by you who was Parameshtin, who was Paramatma, that one is so this defeat is praiseworthy for me who has converted all my father's enemies into ashes, and for me who has handed over the entire earth with the oceans to those who deserve to own it. Patrasa. That's the meaning. Okay, let's look at this 5452, and next page you also have the 5455. Let's look at these two rules. Okay, 5452, 5455, 5452, 5455. Let us see what 5452 says now. 5452, 5455. So 5452. Okay, is that Shvi Vishaye Satirva Syat Sakalye. So in where the pratyaya Shvi is used in some meanings, in that meaning, same meaning as which Shvi is used, the pratyaya Satir can be used with Sakalye. Should be complete conversion, completely converted. So in the Ashtadhyayi, in the Kashika says Abhuta Tadbhave Krubhu Asti Yoge. So when you convert something to which it was not before. So I have converted my father's enemies into ashes. So it's converted something which was not before. There's one more condition. It should be Krubhu Asti Yoge. So this pratyaya sati has to be then used once this sati is added. Often the sati, the ikara goes away. By the, it is it letters, so it's ocharanatham either way. So it is going to be so only sat, anubandha lope is sat. But once this pratyaya sat is added, you create the form bhasma sat. Then the condition is that it has to be used krubhu asti yoge. This sadyata pratyaya, sadyatantam can only be used with dhatu kru, bhu and as. So as. And then, so his Kashika says that this entire anuvritti comes. If you look at Ashtadhyayi 5450 of Ashtadhyayi, 5450 Ashtadhyayi, this is anuvritti of that is coming down here, because there Pani talked about this pratyaya chvihi. So it is converting something into something it wasn't before. And on the condition that it was done with this has to be dhatu kru, bhu or as, kru bhu asti yoge. And then one more condition has to be kartsne, to use the pratyaya sati. Sati should be kartsne. So that is the anuvritti coming over here. So if you look at, I'll look also English translation of vasu very quickly. It says that the affix sati is may be employed optionally in the sense of chvi, when something is changed in all its parts into something else. So the entire phrase of when the agent has attained to a state it previously had not, and the verbs kru, bhu and asti and conjunction understood here. So the entire anuvritti comes from 5450. So basically it's pratyaya sati is used in the same sense of chvi, means converting something, something it was not, and it is only to be used in the sense of the vidhatu kru, bhu and as, and for the sati pratyaya, the condition should be kartsnye. So it says kartsnye means completely, totally convert, Vibhasha, sati, vibhasha means chvi also can be used, and sati also can, but sati can only be used kartsnye, sati pratyaya. Now he has given an alternative form, which is bhasmi krita kurvataha, bhasmi kurvataha, bhasmi kurvat, bhasmi kurvat kurvataha. So one who's making kurvataha. It is slightly different now because the original text had bhasma sat krutavataha, and Muninatha gives bhasmi krita kurvataha. Okay, let's put some simple steps over here. This is bhasma sat. So Pradipadi is bhasman Pradipadikam. Pradipadi is bhasman. It's a nakarantam Pradipadikam. Nakarantam Pradipadikam. So bhasman when we have, so we can first of all that bhasman angam is going to get the padasanya. You get nullapa Pradipadikantas here. Nullapa Pradipadikantas here. So that is why this the ending nakara is going to take lopaha. So even the Pradipadi is bhasman, you don't see that nakara over there in the final form. So let's do the Vigravakram here. So bhasmasat krutavataha, bhasmasat krutavataha. Actually it's bhasmasat krutavataha. So I think there's also a part of it in the sutram here, because the sutram is in the Kashika is given as this one. In the Kashika has the sutram as abhuta tadbhave krubhastu yoga samudikati chvihi. This small part of it are there. And then vibhasha sati karsne, that one is okay. Vibhasha sati karsne is okay. So that one is fine. Let me just check the Kaumudi. I think there is a part of Veda here between Kaumudi and the Kashika. Because Kashika and Kaumudi is slightly different. Kashika has it as Kaumudi has it as Kaumudi has it as the krubhasti yoge sampadyakartari chvi. So in the Kaumudi, this one is taken as a vartikam. Abhuta tadbhava is a vartikam. So rarely you have these sutras which are placed differently in different ways, but this one comes as a vartikam in the Kaumudi, but in the Ashtadhyayi, in the Kashika, it is given as a part of sutram itself. Okay, an example they are given akrishnaha krishnam krishna akrishnaha krishna sampadate tam karoti. One who makes into something which is not black into black. Krishni karoti. Okay, so it is that this Krishna plus karoti is the Krishni karoti. So okay, so then we take in this case we take bhasman. So bhasmi sat karoti. So then take bhasman plus So let's take bhasma sat. So we start with bhasman. Okay, let's derive this form quickly. So bhasman pradipadikam. So plus mi karoti, and we have the pratyaya sati pratyaya. So this is the. Let me just double check. I think the ikara should be a. Yeah, sati is an ikara by upadesha ajana nasika it. Upadesha ajana nasika it. Anubandha lope sat. The first order of business, of course, is remove the it letters by upadesha ajana nasika it. So then what happens, of course, is the pratyaya goes away because of this krit tadita samasascha gets pradipadika sanya, and then supo dhatu pradipadika yoho. You have heard this many times now. Within the pradipadikam, the sup cannot stay, so we get bhasma sat, and then what happens is that in the tripadi section, so we get bhasman. Let's keep it like for time being. So this one is going to go away because of krit tadita samasascha supo dhatu pradipadika yoho. Within a pratipadikam, a sup cannot stay. So krit tadita samasascha supo dhatu pradipadika yoho. Then what happens is that the condition is that this has to be used with bhu, kru bhu as, krubhasti yoge. So now what is the form that we have in the shloka here is that bhasmasat krutavataha. Of course, kruta this is a pratyaya which is the ktavatu pratyaya, ktavatu. So for one who has made. So for one who has made, krutavan means who did or who made. So who made, or in this case made into ashes all his father's enemies. So krutavan is, I think we don't have to derive that. Dhatu is kru, it's anit dhatu. So this pratyaya, I'll just put the number here. So krutavat pradipadikam. So krutavat pradipadikam is from the krutavat, and that is going to be the pratyaya nishtha by sutram nishtha. Then taktavatu nishtha, taktavatu nishtha, taktavatu nishtha, taktavatu nishtha. Only thing is that this is in the active sense, kartari krit. Kartari krit, any krit pratyaya is in kartari, but the pratyaya kta becomes in passive only because of tayoreva krityakta kalarthaha. We've done this many times also. So basically kartari krit is default. So kritavat is going to be one who has done. So he is the doer. He is the doer of the action. Parashurama in this case. But the pratyaya was kta, like kritam. Kritam is that which has been done. That is passive. Something which has been done, not the doer. Pratyaya kta, that will be krita. Kritam, kritaha. But here kritavat means it's going to be active. So aham karyam kritavan. I did this job. But maya karyam kritam was done by me. Even though both kta and ktavatu have the sanya of nishtha, by taktavatu nishtha, by kartari krit, they would both become in kartari, but then the sutram 53470, tayoreva krityakta kalarthaha, makes the kta pratyaya only karmani and bhave, while the ktavatu remains kartari by default. So this is the active sense, kritavat. So now this bhasma sat, you take this one over here, bhasman sat, and then since it can only be used krubhasti yoge, so you can put that over here, and then add this kritavat on top of that. So this creates a pratipadikam for us. And then what has been done is that we have this pratyaya is shashti ekvachanam has been used over here. So add the pratyaya nyas, anubandha lope as, pratyaya nyas, anubandha lope as by lashakvatadhyate, and of course the ending sakara is not an it because of na vibhaktau tusmaha as. And then you just join that with kritavataha, basmi kritavataha. So this is the, of course, 412. So just etc. So it's declined. So this is in samadhikaran with me, parushuramasya me, for me who has converted into acid. The last step here is that we have to remove this nakara, because remember, because the pratyaya came, supting antam padam, Bhasvan got the sanya of pradam. Even though pratyaya lope, pratyaya lakshanam, this took the look elision by 2471, pratyaya lope, pratyaya lakshanam. So lakshanam is still there. So Bhasvan does have the pada sanya. Even though pratyaya took look, Bhasvan does have the pada sanya. Pratyaya lope, pratyaya lakshanam, supting antam padam, pratyaya lope, pratyaya lakshanam. So it's going to be 62. Pratyaya lope, pratyaya lakshanam 1162. And of course, supting antam padam 1414. So the final form here is going to be, we remove this nakara by no lopas pradipadikantasya. No lopas pradipadikantasya. So we can put this one here. So we remove the nakara. This one is gone. Bhasmasat krutavataha. So this one will remove make it krutavataha. Of course, in the end, you have to do the rutta visargau, krutavataha. Okay, so what have we done here? We got pratyaya lope, pratyaya lakshanam, so that Bhasman gets the pratyaya has pratyaya lakshanam, and then we do supting antam padam, then no lopas pradipadikantasya, and of course we have the usual rutta visargau is sasajusho ruho karavasanayor visarjaniyaha. Okay, so from the top one more time is that Bhasman plus so the pratyaya sati, it comes by the sutram which Munatha has given, which is the vibhasha sati kartsne. Vibhasha means you can have the pratyaya shvi also, you can have the pratyaya sati also, and then so that is our first step. Then of course the took look because of it is supodhatu pradipadica yoho, because the pradipadica sanya by krutad samasascha, Krutavat is straightforward form, pratyaya tavatu by the sutram nishtha, tattavatu nishtha is kartariyarthe. Then of course decline shashti ekavachanam, and the only thing in the end is that this nakara is going to take lokaha because of it has a pradipadika sanya, it's padanta nakara of a pradipadikam. So basmasat krutavataha. The word is Mulnatha gives an alternate form in his description. He gives same thing patra sat chikrutavataha. So patra sat chikrutavataha. If you look at the padanvayaha which Mulnatha has done, he has gives the patra sat chikrutavataha. Krutavataha you have to supply it there also. This comes under, but that comes slightly different meaning. Let's look at that one. It is same kind of all the same steps. In to write from patra sat, you put the same steps. You get patra plus and then sati and same. So patra sat krutavataha. Is become patra adhinam krutavataha. Patra adhinam krutavataha. So look at, so this is a different meaning now, but different meaning. In fact, let me just make sure that the pratyaya only is coming. Let us see. Let us take the steps will be very similar. So, okay, deye datra, deye tracha. So it says 5455. 5455. Says tadadhina vachane chait anuvartate tasya visheshanam datavyam deyam tadadhine deye tra pratyabhavati chakara satischa. So same thing. Krubhu asti yoge brahmanebhyo deyam iti jnatam sampadikati. It says brahmanadhinam deyam karoti. So it says brahmana sat karoti. It says brahmanebhyo deyam iti yad vijnatam. Something which is promised to go into the brahmana. Brahmanebhyo deyam iti vijnatam. Tad yada tesha some there's a lot of typos. There's a lot of typos in this book. I'm sorry. Let me read you something from a better one. 1 second. So this is the and this sutram is not in the Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi. So we have to go to the Siddhanta Kaumudi for this, which you don't have the entire one online here. Let me read you the proper vritti from my book, which is this. Okay. It says Brahmanebhyo deyam iti yad vijnatam, which is something that's promised to be given to the Brahmanas. Tad yada tesham samarpanena tadadhinam katkriyate. So which we when it is entrusted to them, something which is given to them is now entrusted to them, put in their charge. Tada tra pratyabhavati brahmanadhinam deyam karoti brahmana sat karoti brahmana tra karoti brahmana tra bhavati, and so on. And then so in the Kaumudi this should be very similar. This is number 2126 in the Kaumudi. Let's see what the Kaumudi gives. 2126 Siddhanta Kaumudi, we will from there also. So this is a special use. The other use is more common. That Bhasma Sat is more common use. This one is much less common than the prior meaning. So it's the same in the Prakriya will be very similar. But normal meaning is that Kartsniya, Sati Kartsniya, when you convert something to something else completely. So this meaning is not very common. Tad adhine deye tra syat satishcha. So you get pratyaya tra and sati both. So pratyaya tra is used, sati also is used. So vipradhinam deyam karoti is vipratra karoti, vipratra sampanjate. So same thing, viprasat karoti, vipratra karoti. So that is the meaning over here. So steps will be the same. Tadadhinam karoti. So I think here the only thing which may be different I'm thinking about here is that you're going to get the same final form, but here we probably will not have because tadadhinam tasyadhinam, I think, let's see, brahmanebhyo, because it won't matter, because anyway the pratyaya, whatever pratyaya comes by using the sutram, which is kritis samasascha and suppo dhatu padipatikayoho, either way it's going to go away. It's going to go away. But I think the pratyaya is not because when you said bhasmasat karoti, it converts something converts to ashes, which was not ashes made into ashes. So that pratyaya was Let me just check one more thing over here. The sutra number is 2126 in Siddhanta Kaumudi. It will not make any difference in the final form. It will not make a difference in the final form. But give me 1 second. I just want to make sure that we have the right. Otherwise, I'll look it up and tell you next time for sure. 2126. Okay. says tadadhine deyetra. Okay. So tadadhina vachane anuvartate krubvasti yoge. Okay. Okay. So that is what. Okay, they're not specifying it. Okay. Anyway, regardless of what this one is here in between here, it doesn't really matter. It won't be tadadhinam karoti. So after, because if you look at the Vigraha Vakyam, because when it says Brahmana sat karoti, Brahmana adhinam deyam karoti, Brahmana sat karoti. So tasya adhinam. So we can make it, it will make it, putting in their charge. So this will not be maybe we can use nyas over here, tasya adhinam karoti. So, but regardless of what is used over, whether you use nyas or ne, whatever it might be, and if it is bahuvachanam, patra sat, then of course you'll use the bahuvachanam. The pratyaya may be used. So brahmanebhyo dadati, bhyas might be used. But regardless of that, it'll take the look anyway. And then after that, if you want the same steps, so patra sa. So it's a different meaning. In fact, in this book by Devdharji, he has given a nice commentary at the back also. He has given both these meanings nicely. Says that the first one, which is bhasmasat karoti, when something is totally converted into something else. While in patra sat, the affix sat or tra is used according to the sutram deye tracha, when something to be given is made over to a person. And then with that, kru, bhu or as has to be used. So these are two different meanings here, which is 5452, vibhasha sati katsne, and then deye tracha. This one is very common. Vibhasha sati katsne is the common one, while this one is not very common. Deye tracha. Deye tracha is not a common sutra. Okay, so this one, this of these two forms used by Kalidasa, the one which is the bhasma sat is a common form. Patra sat is less common form, because it is being hand over to somebody. It was to be given to him. Okay. So now what is the Malinatha gives alternate form as bhasmi kurvataha. The bhasmi kurvataha. Remember that this vibhasha sati katsne. So sati could be used. Chvi also could be used. Satya chvi also could be used. So now, so when we had this, okay, let's derive bhasmi kurvataha. It will be similar, very similar. So the only thing there is that his vispatya chvi has been used by Malinatha, because what he's telling you is that this bhasma sat has been used the same meaning. The chvi can also be used. So what in the tika, Malinatha has used 5450. 5450 has been used. Satya chvi has been used, but because no, actually I take it back, because vibhasha, finally you have to use 5452 only, because you want the katsne. So anuvritti is coming. Anuvritti of chvi is coming down. Anuvritti of chvi comes down into vibhasha sati katsne. Anuvritti is coming down here, but ultimately you use the same sutra, vibhasha sati katsne. Vibhasha is mentioned over here. So 5452 only we have to use. But the chvi, if we use, there will be a couple of little steps over here. So let's see if we take this one down here. Instead of put the number here, forgot to put the number. It says 5452. 5452. Vibhasha sati katsne. 5452. Same sutra we will use. The vibhasha is this, but the chvi we can use this time. So we'll come down here and become bhasman. Yeah, Vasant.
Satishji, Bhasmikaranam would be using the chvi, is it?
Yeah, this is chvi. Bhasmikaranam is chvi, correct. So we're going to derive this form right now, because chvi, we have, so chvi will take the sarvapahar lopaha. Because of chutu, so it becomes 0. Sarvapahar lopaha, it completely goes away. Sarvapahar lopaha. Sarvapahar lopaha. So sarvapahar lopaha. Sarvapahar lopaha. So what has happened is that because of chutu, the chakara will go, and the ikara will go by upadesh ajananasika it, and the vakara finally verapraktasya. When that end, then the vakara of V stays behind alone, it also takes lopaha by verapraktasya. So the whole entire thing is gone, becomes 0. So basically, but there is this adding a 0 now allows it to then add this kru, bhu, as along with that. So we have to, so 6167 virapraktasya. Okay. Let's finish off this form. The Bhasmi, we have to get the form Bhasmi. So Pratyaya Chvi was added because this is so Chvi became a 0. Again, with the same steps as before, this is going to take okay. The is going to take lopaha. Is going to take lopaha because of the same these two. Kuta is the samasascha supo dhatu padvidikayoho. Kuta is the samasascha supo dhatu padvidikayoho. Again, the takes lopaha, so is gone. So now we just have bhasman. Now at this point, we can use nulapa pradipadikantasya. Nulapa pradipadikantasya. But the thing is that then how can we, okay, after doing nulapa pradipadikantasya, then we have to, okay, so, okay, after that we have to asya chvau. We have to make this ending akara into ikaraha, asya chvau. So if we first use nulapa pradipadikantasya, and then we use asya chvau. Okay, so now let us look at these two rules. So this one, again, because the pratyaya came and went, pratyaya lope pratyaya lakshanam, supting antam padam, we got the padasanya, nakara takes lopaha, nulapa pradipadikantasya becomes bhasma. But now that nakar lopaha is occurring in 8 to 7. So if we do that over here, if we make it bhasma by 8 to 7, then by purvatra siddham, that nakar lopa should not be seen by anybody back in the prior rules. So let us do the same as before, pratyaya lope pratyaya lakshanam, then supting antam padam, and then after that nulapa pradipadikantasya. But then after that nakar lopa should be purvatra siddham, should not be seen by any of the prior rules. Actually, we do want that to be seen by the prior rule over here, which one asya chvau. I think is around 7432. So what is 7432? So in order to make the word bhasmi kratavataha, and to get that ikara over there, we have to use 7432. Asya chvau. So it says that these avarnantasya, a lot of typos here. Avarnantasyangasya chauparataha ikaradesha bhavati. If you have the pratyaya chvi following and angam is ending in the avarnaha, then we get the ikaradesha. Yes, we can do this, but that's provided that this sutram asya chvau 7432 is able to see the nakar lopaha. But here nakar lopaha is done by 8 to 7, and how can this sutram 7432 see nakar lopaha? Now the reason for that is that below the sutram purvatra siddham, there is a niyama sutram that no lopaha is only asiddha in these situations only. Sup swara sanya tug vidishu kriti. Again, this sutram has been given to you many times in daily examples. If you recall this one, when we, for example, when we do the rajan pratipadikam, when we get rajan plus sup, let's say we take the sapti bhavachanam. When we do this, rajan gets the padasanya by swadishva sarvanama sthane. We make rajan, make it raja plus su. It does not become rajeshu. It becomes rajasu. So it is because of sup. It's a sup vidhi. So nakar lopaha will be asiddha only for these operations, which is sup swara sanya tug vidishu kriti. So sup vidhi, like in example, rajasu, rajabhyam, not it doesn't become rajabhyam, become rajabhyam, because the nakar lopaha of that rajan will be nakar lopaha of rajan will be asiddha. It will not become raj. So you cannot do the supicha dirgha, you cannot do that. And the other thing, which is that bhavachan chaliyet, so it doesn't become rajabhyam, doesn't become rajeshu. It becomes rajabhyam, become rajasu, because the nakar lopaha is done. 8 to 7 is asiddha in the eyes of these rules. In the eyes of this ato the supicha. The supicha rule cannot see that nakar lopa. Supicha cannot see it, and neither can be this seen by the bhavachan chaliyet. They also cannot see it. So these sutras cannot see that. Bahuvachan is Jali, this one cannot see it. Then how we are allowing this 7, 4, 32 to see it then? So we just did the Nakar Lopa of Bhasman by giving it the Padasanya by Pratyal Vipatti Lakshanam Suptingandam Padam, because this is not in the list of those 4 operations which is given in 822. So 822 said that Nakar Lopa will be Asiddha is a Niyama Sutram. Nakar Lopa Asiddha only in these 4 operations, which is Sup, Swara. This is not a Sup Vidhi because we're doing Pratyaya Chvi is being added. There's no Sup being added over here. Swara Vidhi, which is the Vedic Swara, is not here. Sanya Vidhi. Some Sanya is Vidhi. This is not a Sanya. And the Tuk Agamaha. Tuk. So only in these 4 cases, the Nalopaha is Asiddha. In other cases, the Nalopaha becomes Siddha. So basically 7, 4, 32, Asya Chvav, can see the Nakar Lopaha, because Niyama Sutram 822 is making a Niyamaha, is that Nagalopaha Sup Swara Sanya Tuk Vidishukriti. Only in these operations, Nagalopaha will be Asiddha. Right now we have Bhasman plus Chvi. It's not a Sup Vidhi, there's no Sup Pratyaya here, it's not a Swara Vidhi either, it's not a Sanya Vidhi, it's not a Tuk Agamaha, nothing like that happening over here. So because of 822 now, we can apply. So then we can make it, the basic ending Akara becomes the Ikaraha, becomes Bhasmi, like Brahmi Bhutaha, become into Brahma, Brahmi Bhutaha, so who has been made into become Brahma, so Bhasmi, because we used 8432, and basically the 822 limited the 821, that's why this became Siddha, Nalopa becomes Siddha. So one more time is that we got first from Bhasman, the Chvi, convert to that. Now what we are doing really is in the commentary here. I'm looking at the commentary because he made Bhasmi Kurvataha as the form Mulinatha gave. So in order to derive this form Bhasmi, we need to go through these steps. So we had the same rule, because you can use Pratyaya Sati can be used and Chvi also can be used. This time we're using Chvi, because Mulinatha is going to form Bhasmi Kurvataha. So here again the same thing, we got the Supodhatupadipatikayoho, Pratyaya takes look. In the meanwhile, the Chvi takes Sarvapahar Lopaha by Chutu, Uparishanasika It, and Virapuktasya. And after that, we got the Pratyalopi Pratyaya Lakshanam, Suptingantam Padam, Nalopa Pradipadikaantasya, we got that. And finally, the important thing is here is that this 822 limited 821, which allowed Nakar Lopa to be seen by this 743 Asya Chvav. Asya Chvav means that if you have Avarananta Mangam, which is followed by the Pratyaya Chvi, then it takes the Ikara Adesha, Alontyasya, of course, Alontyasya. So we get the Bhasmi. The Bhasmi Kurvataha, he's made a present participle, Kurvat. The Pratyaya Shatru has been added here, Shatru. So again skipping, so the Krutavataha was the Nishta Pratyaya, which Kalidasa has used. Who's the one for me who has made. Kurvataha is one who's making, basically, making Kurvataha. So Bhasmi Kurvataha. So we will just give some basic steps here. Is the Dhatu Kuru was used with Pratyaya Lat became Shatru. Because of this is Shatru Pratyaha, Shatru Pratyaha. So what we have here is, of course, Vartamane Lat Shatrushana Chava Prathama Samanadikarane. So this is, so that we have done this many times in the class before, present part, Vartamane Kudant Kud Pratyaha, so it becomes the Shatru. Of course, in the meanwhile, what happens is that, so rather than getting Tiptajji, we got the participle form here, we got a present participle, now Shatru, because the Dhatu Kru is acting Vayapadi, and if Shatru in Parasyapadam, Shanash is Atmanipadam, depending on, I think Kru is Vayapadi anyway, so Shatru Pratyaya has been used over here. The Shatru Pratyaya, of course, you do the Lashak Patadite, Upadesha Nasika It becomes At, Anubandha Lope At, Anubandha Lope At, Anubandha Lope At. So Anubandha Lope At. In the meanwhile, this is Dhatu Kru belongs to the 8 Gana Tanadibhya. So it is under Karturi Shap, Apavada, which is the Pratyaya U will come here because it's not in Bhadi Gana. So this is Tanadi Krimibhya Uhu. So Tanadi Krimibhya Uhu. So this Tanadi Gana specifically Dhatu Kru takes the U. So bring the U in between over here. So So let's put the next step. That one is 3179. So 3179, because this is kartari shap would have been shap prapyate, but then this is in the 8th kana. So instead of getting shap, we get the pratyaya u over here. U pratyaya. U comes in here. U. So u plus shatra. This at. This was 3179. Tanadi krimya uhu 3179. 3179. Let's put that over. Now we can finish this form. Now 3179. And in the meanwhile, of course, the ukara has a sanya of ardhadhatukam, tingshe sarvadhatukam, ardhadhatukam sheshaha. So that can do the guna adesha of kru, and uran raparaha. So becomes kar u at by guna adesha with sarvadhatuka ardhadhatuka yoho, uran raparaha sarvadhatuka ardhadhatuka yoho. Uran raparaha sarvadhatuka ardhadhatuka yoho, uran raparaha. So here becomes kar u. One more thing which happens over here is that uran raparaha is that the kar becomes kur. There's a special sutram over here which this is going to be coming soon. In the Saturday class it will be coming to you soon, because when we do the 8th kana, we're going to do all these rules will be coming to you quite shortly. So in the next few months, you're going to get the details of all of this. Now, there is a special rule over here, which is, let's see, Ata ut 641110 comes. Ata ut sarvadhatuke. Let's look at what this, what is saying. Ata ut sarvadhatuke. Ata ut becomes like, so kur becomes that akara of kar becomes kur. Akara or becomes kur. That is 641110. Ata ut sarvadhatuke. Ata ut sarvadhatuke. Ata ut sarvadhatuke. I'm sorry. Ata ut sarvadhatuke. Ata ut sarvadhatuke. Ata ut sarvadhatuke. Says that u pratyayantasya kriyaha. When we the dhatu kru is taken u pratyayaha, akarasya usya becomes the akar ukaraha sarvadhatuke kiniti. Pratyaya should be kit nit. What happens is that because of the sutram sarvadhatukam apit. Sarvadhatukam apit, if you have pratyaya which is sanya of sarvadhatukam, if it doesn't have upakaras in it, it becomes nitvat. So this pratyaya shatru has sanya of sarvadhatukam by thinking it's sarvadhatukam, and it doesn't have upakaras in it, doesn't have pores in it, so it's going to get this, it become nitvat. And when that happens, then we can apply 641110. You have 641110 one more time. 641110 is saying that u pratyayantasya kriyaha akarasya usyat sarvadhatuke kiniti. Pratyaya shatra sanya sarvadhatukam by thinking is sarvadhatukam, and by the sutram sarvadhatukam apit, it's nitvat. Everything is satisfied. So what then we now get is that using this 1, 2, 4 along with 641110, we now have kur. Just to make it kur. So this only comes when the pratyaya, which we take the form karoti. In karoti, the pratyaya tip, which has pores in it, therefore it will not become nitvat. 1, 2, 4 will not apply. You will not get the ukara adesha. Here, because pratyaya shatra does not have pores in it, therefore we do get the ukara adesha. 1, 2, 4 and 64110 becomes the ata ut sarvadhatuke. So becomes kur. Now one more situation here is that is this, why does Panini put the ata ut sarvadhatuke? Ata ut sarvadhatuke. Because the fact that when you have any vidhiyamana letter, something which is being prescribed, it can only be, he could have said only u. Why does he say ut sarvadhatuke? Ut sarvadhatuke. You look at the commentary in the Kashika, he might also mention that, is that he says taparakaranam, by saying ut instead of just u. Laghupatasya guna nivrityartham, means that at this point when we made the ukaradesha, remember this pratyaya u has sanya of ardhadhatukam. By thinking is sarvadhatukam, ardhadhatukam sheshaha. Now technically we could have done the guna of the ukaraha by pugant laghupatasya cha. Pugant, because this is the angam for the u pratyaha. This has the upadha, which is the ukara, which is laghu. So this ukara, this u pratyaha could have done the guna of this u. So that is why Panini in the Sutram says Ata Ut Sarvadhatuke. So this Ukara will not take Guna Adesha by Puganta Lagupatasya cha. So Ukara will not take the Ukara because it says, in fact we can copy it from the Kashika, Tapakata Parakaranam Lagupatasya Guna Nivrityartham. So this means that because Panini said Ata Ut Sarvadhatuke, even though at this particular step over here, we could have done the Puganta Lagupatasya Gunaha, but that Guna will not take place. Because Panini said Ut, that Ukarasya Guna Adesho Nabhavati. So maybe I'll put it down here. So Taparakaranam. Taparakaranam is why Ut. Tapara means why make U into Ut. So that is because of the fact that Lagupatasya Guna Nivrityartham. Nivrityartham. Okay. So now we got this one here. Now so Kur U At. Kur U At. Now one more thing, remind you one more thing is that when something which is prescribed doesn't become the savarnas with it. Because remember that sutram which we have seen, these are, I mean, yes, I'm taking some time here. I know we want to keep brief. These are all fundamentally important concepts. Is that is any anudit savarnasya cha pratyaha, any letter, and any which is a udit, and udit, ud as in like chu, ku, pu, they bring the savarnas with them. And in this sutram, the means the arrived to higher varat land up all the way up to there. This is a one single sutram, anudit savarnasya cha pratyaha, where the paravarti nakara is taken from the Mahash Sutrani. Because you have ayun, rulruk, ayong, ayauch, higher varat land. So that you have no in two places. You have ayun and you have the, normally the in pratyahara will use the paravarti nakara. Always. In means always use up to higher varat land. While the an pratyahara normally uses only a-un up to there. This is the one sutram which is the anudit savarnasya cha pratyaha. In only is one single sutram, the an pratyahara goes all the way up to higher varat land, all the way up to there. So let's look at Vrutya one. Why do we need this over here right now? Why am I bringing this up? So there was no need for Panini to say ut. There was no need to say ut for Panini. So why has Panini said ut instead of just saying uhu? Because it says the vritti of this one is that pratiyate vidhiyate pratyaha. So avidhiyamano an udicca savarnasya sanya syat. Avidhiyamano an, which is not being prescribed. Right now in the Sutram 6.4.1.1.10, this ukara being prescribed. It is the thing which came in as a substitute. Because in 6.4.1.1.10 which you're using right now, 6.4.1.10 it says Ata Ut Sarvadhatuke. So this ukara is being prescribed. There should be no reason to put the takara over here. Because this is a vidhiyamana ukara. It will not bring savarnas with it. It will never stand for the dirgha ukara also. It will not bring it, because that's saying that the adesha is ukara. It is u. That u will not bring with it the dirgha ukara also. It will not bring it, because that's the vidhiyamana. So in spite of that, Panini has put the takara over there, taparaha. So that is to signify that that's how they figure out that this ukara will not take gunaha by the puganta lahu upatasya. One more time. The idea here is that this ut is the adesha. So it's a vidhiyamana being prescribed. It will not bring the savarnas with it. So Panini could have just said uhu. Why has he said utta? So that means that this takara over here is to make sure that this ukara will not change by the guna adesha, by puganta lagupatasya. So that's what Kashika says, is that ta parakaranam lagupatasya guna nivrityartham. So this means that by 1169 we already had the rasta ukara was coming. On top of that, Panini says the ata utsarvadhatuke. So that's what it means that. So basically here, so 64110, and after that, this 7386 does not apply. Does not apply because of this statement, because of this logic, because of this one over here. Okay. So now what you get? Then we can do the yanna adesha kurvat. Yes.
Yeah. Satish, you explained it in detail, but I have great difficulty in understanding the last portion, Puganta Lagu Padasya cha, will apply for any Lagu Akshara.
Yeah, if you're lagu, so what we have is that at this
Who Ukara is a Lagu Akshara, why shouldn't it apply, regardless of how you put it?
so this ukara of ku should have taken guna, right? Should become
Yeah,
ku.
it should. That's what I'm saying, that whether you say Ut or Wu, it should.
Yeah, so what, because this ukara was the adesha prescribed by 64110 as ata ut sarvadhatuke.
Yeah.
So this is the ukara was prescribed using the ut. So which means that ut means limits it to that matra, right? So ut means it can be only the rasa ukara only.
But it will still come under the territory of Lagu.
It would come, but then why has Pani put it ut instead of uhu? That's the question.
Yeah. But the thing is, regardless of how he does it, it's a Lagu. So
it is lagu, and it would normally you should apply the Puganta Lagu Padasya Gunaha. Normally, yes, correct.
But by putting Taparakaranam, how does it prevent it?
Because Taparakaranam means that Taparakaranam was not required. Okay? So, but Pani has done Taparakaranam for some reason. What could the reason be? The reason can only be is that the Guna Adesha which should normally come should not be done, is what the Taparakaranam is for. That's the logic.
It's a conjecture then. Okay.
So that Taparakaranam is a indication of Panini that do not change this ukara into the Guna Adesha by Puganta Lagu Padasya. That's the logic.
Okay, that Adesha means it has to stay there. Okay.
No, Adesha is, Pani could have just said uhu, because I said because of the 1169, under this Savanasa Cha Prastayaha, there was no need to put Taparakaranam by Pani. There was no need for that. Right? Because if it's a Vidhiyaman ukaraha, it will not bring with it the dirgha anyway. So there was no need for put ut. So ut was not required. Even if Pani only said uhu, it was still only being the rasu ukara only. Correct?
Yeah.
So fact that Pani is going out of his way and saying ut means that something, he's signaling something there. So that signal is that do not apply Puganta Lagu Padasya in this situation is what he's saying. That is the way the Vyakhyanam is like that. I mean, of course, do you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, I follow that. It's an inference there.
It's inference because normally, yes.
If
normally,
Vyakhyanam does not say, people like me will go and make that for this one, right?
No, because he says Taparakaranam.
Yeah.
This is, of course, clearly the Puganta Lagu Padasya Sutra that he's talking about here.
Yeah.
Nivrityartham means that don't apply that one. So that is the Taparakaranam. This logic they're using is that Taparakaranam is being done in order to not apply this Puganta Lagu Padasya. Otherwise, Taparakaranam has no other meaning, no other use. It's useless otherwise, right? You follow?
I follow to the extent that the Taparakaranam restricts it to that Tatkalasya, that only that and not the Savarna letters.
Yeah,
right?
no, 1169 was saying that when there is a unletter, unletter, right, which includes all the vowels, then that will bring the savarnas with it. Like Iku and Achi, right? The ik is savarnas, we short e, long e also. Iku and Achi. But not if it's been prescribed. So in Iko and Achi, what's been prescribed is the yan is being prescribed. In Iko and Achi is a good example. When ik is followed by ach, then adesha is yan. In that sutra of Iko and Achi, the Vidyamana is the yan. So yan will not bring with it the savarnas. You follow?
Yeah.
While the ik brings savarnas with it. You can long e or short e followed by should become ya. Correct?
Yeah.
So in this example, in this 64110, which is the ata ut sarvadhatuke, right? Ata ut sarvadhatuke. Here this ut is this is like the Iko and Achi. This is like the yan in Iko and Achi.
Yeah.
This is being prescribed over here. So there was so here we will not apply 1169 at all because there was no possibility of the u standing for long u at all. Correct?
Yeah.
And in spite of that, Pani is saying ut when there was no need for it. So what could it signal? Is what the question? What could a signal be? Means this u should stay. This ukara should stay as ukara, should not change. Is what a signal is basically.
Yeah.
So that means what the only change possible was the guna adesha.
Yeah, double emphasis there, that it better stay there as well.
So to make sure that this ukar doesn't change into guna, Pani has put the parakaranam. That's what it is. So, okay. So that is, so we get kur, so we get the yanna desha, but equanachi becomes kur vat kurnachi. And now the one more complication comes in here now. So what we do have now, we have a dhatu ending in the repha, followed by a hal letter over here. So then what could have happened is that it become kurvat. So there's a lot of complications here. So what I'm talking about is that by 8277, that halicha says that if you have dhatu ending in vakara or repha, 8277 halicha, 8277 halicha says that refa vantasya dhatoho upadhayaha ikaha dirgho hali. If you have a refa or vakaranta dhatu, which is followed by a hal, then if the upadha is an ik, it should become dirgha. So by 8277 at this point, it should have become kurvat, which we don't want. So 8277 would have spoiled situation here. But that is what happens is that then Panini has sutram, it says na bha kur churam. Na bha kur churam. So for this dhatu kru, this kur which is there, we don't apply this sutram. We don't make upada dheeka. So 8279 specifically stops, doesn't this dheeka from happening. So 8279 is saying that na bha kur churam is bhasya and kur churoho upadhayaha iko dirgha nasyat, doesn't become. So it becomes like kuryat. Same thing, kuryat is similar form here, kuryat, but basically a kur plus the kur is followed by yakara, which is a hal, to become kuryat. Doesn't happen. So it's another complication. So na bha kur churam, na bha kur churam. I'm sorry, it's a lot of complications here. So basically that you have to think that the 8277, so 8279, na bha kur churam stops the upada dirgha, which would have come by 8277. When 8277 is saying if you have the dhatu ending in refa or vakara followed by a hal, the upada takes a dirgha adesha, but na bha kur churam stops that. So kurvat is the final form, and then of course we have kurvataha. Kurvataha is simply again shashti ekvachanam. Instead of bhasmasat krutavataha, we got this kope is a vyakhyanam. This is a vyakhyanam. Kopen is a vyakhyanam. Kopena means with angrily. Anger. This is only the commentary, but basmi kurvataha is the pratyaya. Chvi is being used, went through all the steps just now. There were a couple of tricky things over here. The nakar lopa took place by the nalopa paripadikantasiya because of 822, limited 821, so we could apply asya chvav, make it basmi, and kurvataha we went through all the steps over here. Ata ut sarvadhatuke, so the upratyaya could not do the gunadeshaha, and also because of na bha kur churam, didn't become kurvataha, it said kurvataha. But it's also shashti ekvachanam. All this is going with me, for me, basmi kurvataha, who's making. So this is instead of krutavataha, it says kurvataha. So he made into present participle. These are not past participle. Basmi kurvataha, for me who's converting. You know, my father's enemy is completely into ashes. Basmi kurvataha. Because of vibhasha sati katsne, vibhasha means chu also could be used in the same meaning. That's why he gave the chi pratyaya here. Even though Kalidasa used the sat. Of course, chi pratyaya can be used in other meaning also. When you use chvi, there is a little bit of a doubt. You know, it could come in a couple of meanings. It doesn't have to be katsne. So chvi doesn't have to be katsne, because chvi can be used over here also, back here. But this, when sati is used, sati only comes in this one, vivasha sati katsne. And of course, you saw one more meaning of sati is deye tracha. Is that one where something which is to be given is made over, is handed over to a person, becomes, you know, pratyatra can be used, and pratyasati also can be used to become patrasat. The patrasat. Only thing I will confirm for you next time, this exact vibhakti which is coming here for patrasat is going to be or something else. I'll confirm it next time for you. I just want to make sure. It won't make a difference. Anyway, this whatever pratyas coming is going to take in patrasat. When you do patrasat, no matter what supratyaya comes, it's going to take look by the supo dhatu padvitkayoho. But I'll confirm for you next time with patra plus, the supratyaya will come and then the pratyaya sat will come because they were using 5, 4, 55. So I'm going to put over here, patra sat is the similar steps. Patra sat is again with 5, 4, 55, patra sat. So patra adhinam karoti, patra adhinam, so patra sat karoti. So patra sat is by 5, 4, 55, deyetracha. Otherwise steps will be very similar to that basma sat, very similar. Of course here patra is ending in akara, so you don't need to nakar lopa over here, patra is ending akara anyway. This is going to say 5, 4, 55. Now the next page, what is given is that next line says that ahitaha means, let's see, so it says pitrudvishaha pitru vairinaha masmasa krutavataha kopena vasmi krutkurvataha vibhasha sati kasne iti sati pratyayaha sasagaram. Sasagaram means it is sagaraihi saha vartamanam vasudham. So I just give a sutra number for you, like sa is a bahuvri compound. It is that which is existing with along with the oceans. Bahuvri compound, the main sutram is of course anekamanya padarthe, but then the special sutram it says tena saheti tulya yoge. When something participates in an action with something else, then tena saha, like saputraha pita, father with his son. So this is sasagaram vasudham, means the earth with the ocean. So tena saheti tulya yoge, tena saheti tulya yoge. So it's 228 has been used over here because the vritti quickly of that term, and of course the pratyaya tap has been added. Any bahuvri is an adjective, all bahuvri is being adjectives, it's qualifying vasudham. So add the pratyaya tap, anubandha lopaha, and then akasam dirghaha. So it says that saha iti etat shabda rupam. This when the word saha is used, tulya yoge vartamanam tena iti tutiyantena saha samasyate bahuvri samascha bhavati saha putrena agataha saputra agataha. So last question, how did the saha become sa? How did saha become sa? That we have to go to 6.3. The 6.3 section will finally start with the uttarapade, alug uttarapade. So when uttarapada follows. So basically when there is some karyam taking place of pura padam of a samasaha, then we have to go to 6.3. And there we says there is a sahasya staha finally starts. And it says then here, I think it's somewhere here, vopasajanasya, sahasya staha, vopasajanasya, it will come somewhere here. Okay, sahasya staha sanyayam, this one, 6382, vopasajanasya. So what's upasajana sanya? These sanyas are very important. What does sanyas mean? Let's look at 6382. Basically what we're trying to see is how did saha become sa? How did saha become sa? It comes in Gita, saha yadnya praja sushtva purovacha prajapatihi. In chapter 3 it comes. But upasajana says that upasajana sarva avayavaha samasa upasajanam. In a bahuvri compound, every term has the sanya upasajanam because the fact that because of anekamanya padarthe, general rule in the bahuvri compound, it gets the upasajana sanya, general rule. It says yasya sarva avayavaha upasajani bhutaha so upasajana bahuvri yate. So bahuvri. So basically this is time for bahuvri. In the bahuvri compound, in this saha will become sa. Saha will become sa. So when in the bahuvri compound, this saha becomes sa optionally. So saputraha, sahaputraha. So we put some numbers here. So sasagaram is sagaraihi saha vartamanam. Sagaraihi saha vartamanam. These compounds are very powerful. You can. So sagaram. Just put some final numbers here. We have used 2 to 28. Tena sahita tulya yoge. Then after that we used vopasajanasya. And of course we added the pratyaya tap. And then did akasama dirghaha. Straightforward compound. So sasagaram, sasagari saha vartamanam. So tena sahita tulya yoge vopasajanasya. Okay. So that was the sasagaram, which is an adjective. Any bahuvri has it is the anyapada pradhanatvam it has. Pradhanam is anyapadam. So it is qualifying something. So this sasagaram is clearly qualifying the vasudham. Sasagaram vasudham. So this is the I made over. So Sadaram Vasudham Patrasat Kritavataha. So this is what is being given here. Then the next line it says that it says Patra Adhinam Deyam Kritavataha. How do you get this meaning? Deyetracha. We just saw that Deyetracha. And something which is to be given is handed over to the recipient. The pratyaya tra can be used, and because of the cha, you can also be pratyaya sati can be used. Iti, it says, iti chakarat satihi. It is chakarat satihi. The pratyaya says deye tracha. Tra was given, but chakarat satihi. So patra sat. Okay. It says kritakrityasya me. So for me, basically, was done what is to be done. So basically, I have reduced my father's enemies into ashes, and I have handed over the earth along with the oceans to fit to be given to the appropriate people, to those who deserve to get it. So I am accomplished in life now. Kritakrityasya me, for me, kritakrityaha is also, it comes in Bhagavad Gita, I think chapter 15. Kritakrityascha bharata. Chapter 15 is a Bahuri compound. From chapter 15, Charma Shloka, in the last part of last shloka of chapter 15, Kritakrityascha bharata. Etad buddha buddhiman syat. Kritakrityascha bharata. So Kritakritya is one who has done what was to be done. Kritakrityascha bharata. So it is, here it's coming. Iti guyatamam shastram idamuktam mayanaga. Etad buddha buddhiman syat. Kritakrityascha bharata. So kritakritya is kritam, krityam yena saha. So one who has done what is to be done. So when kritam, krityam yena saha. So when krityam is kartum yogyam. So Gita 15.20, kritakritya is Bahuvri compound. So by saying this, so, okay, let's put this in 5:15:20, kritakritya. So Bahuvri compound. So kritakritya is Bahuvri compound. Kritakritya. Sorry. Kritakritya. It comes in Gita 15, Kritakritya. So 15:20, Gita 15:20. Okay, so this means that it is qualifying somebody. So it's qualifying in this case Purusharamaha. So Kritam Krityam Kartum Yogyam Yena Saha. One who has no worship. Of course, the Kritya itself is the Bahuvri compound. This is Kritya itself is Kritya Pratyaya. This Kritya, in the old days before Panini, whatever form the Dhatu Kru was to have taken, that became the Sanya for that class. So when Panini starts the participles, in by 3193, krud a thing, there first thing Panini starts the Krityaha, so what's called the potential participles. The Kritya itself is a Kritya. The Kritya, the term Kritya itself is a Kritya, is a Kritya. So because this contains the Kritya Pratyaha. So the Kritya became a generic name for the class. Dhatu Kru is the most common dhatu. So Kritya was used as a generic name for the class. Now, which pratyas come in that section? Tavya, like Kartavya, then Aniya, Karaniya. And then there are three varieties of this ya, Achoyat, like Cheyam, it becomes like that. So Cheyam, Deyam, etc. So which is fit to be collected, fit to be given. Then comes the pratyaya Ruhalornyat, which comes down here, Ruhalornyat. This goes up to 3.1.132. So from 3.195, 3.1.132 is the section on potential participles. And there Ruhalornyat, any halantyam, we'll take Ruhalornyat. So like Prapyam, so Ruhalornyat, Haryam. Tasmad Pariharyarte, Ruhalornyat, Rukara, like Patyam. So so this is like that. So Patitam Yogam Patyam. So and Rukaranta, like Haryam, comes in Gita, Tasmad Pariharyarte, Harya, fit to be taken away. So now this is one, and then the Pratyaya Kyap comes after certain special dhatus like Etis, Tu, Shas, Vru, Drish, these dhatus over here. Etis, Tu, Shas, Yashaha. Now the thing is that this is the complication here is that Panini says is that Vasarupo Striyam. Vasarupo Striyam means that in this adhikaraha of dhatu starting from here, if it is a asarupa pratyaya, asarupaha means that it has a different form. Like for example, we have here tavya, kartavya, karaniya, and karyam we had. Karyam. Now the tavya, aniya, and karya have pratyayas, tavya, aniya pratyaya, and the ruhal or nyat. So even though they're in the same meaning, they can coexist. I mean, they don't overrule each other. They don't overrule each other. So we can have the form kartavya and karaniya and karya because of it is vasarupo striyam. So barring the striyam adhikaraha. So barring striyam adhikaraha, in any other place, if the pratyas asarupaha has different letters, doesn't have the exact same form, another pratyaya, they will not overrule each other. In this adhikara of dhatoho, these pratyas do not overrule each other. They come optionally. So you can have form kartavya, you can have the form karaniya, also the form karya. So this is but between the acho yat, which is anubandha lope ya, and between the kyap, which lashak patadite halantyam, also a ya, and the ruhal or nyat, which is also a ya, anubandha lope chutu halantyam. Now these are sarupaha, because anubandha lope, each of them give ya, ya, ya. So as a general rule, only one of them can exist. Not, when you say haryam, that's it, only one form. You will not get the other, the yat and the kyap. So when basically you will get, after any dhatu, as a general rule, you will get the tavya, aniya, and you also get one of the ya pratyas. Either you get the yat, or get the nyat, or get the kyap. But for the dhatu kru, the reason I went through all of this for you is that dhatu kru, you have the form kartavya, you have karaniya, you have karyam, you also have krityam, you have. In fact, that's what we're seeing right now. Kritya also. How we got two of them then? How did we get karyam and krityam for the same dhatu? I just told you vasarupo striyam is that only if it is asarupaha, it can be va, barring this striyam adhikaraha. But here then, how come for dhatu kru, we got the form karyam and krityam? Because kritya pratyaya kyap has been used. In karyam pratyaya nyat has been used. So that is why Panini has a special rule. Of course, dhatu kru is the most exception, right? So this is a special rule. It says vibhasha kru vrishoho. So dhatu kru and vrish will take vibhasha. So especially Panini puts this back, saying is that these two dhatus will take the kyap optionally, in addition to whatever else they would take. So otherwise, normally, so I hope you follow the logic here, is that this sutram vasarupo striyam says that in the same meaning, we can have optional form with different pratyayas in the same meaning. They will not overrule. In this adhikara of dhatoho, barring the striyam adhikara, which of course coming in 3394 striyam tin. So there they will overrule the striyam tin. In general, in Ashtadhyayi, the people, the rules will overrule each other, the same meaning, unless Pani says cha or something. But in this adhikara of this second dhatu adhikara, barring the striyam adhikara, it can be va, as long as asarupaha. It should not be the same letters. There should be a different form. So vasarupo striyam was governing adhikara here. So when we have the pratyaya tavya and aniya, they have no problem. There will be two optional forms, kartavya, karaniya. But when you pratyas yat and kyap and nyat, anubandha lope all give ya, in that case, only one of those three could exist for any given dhatu because of vasarupo asarupaha, vasarupo striyam. But that is why Panini puts a special rule back over here. He says vibhasha kru vishoho. 31120. So I just put this number in the document. I hope you followed some of that. So 31120, Panini specially says that the dhatu kru can get two of these. You can take pratyaya kyap in addition to its usual, which was the pratyaya ruhalor nyat. So kriyo vishascha vibhasha kya pratyaya bhavati. So karoter nyati prapte. For dhatu kru nyat was prapte. Then varshate he rudupadatvat nitya kyapi prapte vibhasha. So here krityam and karyam both can exist because of 3-1-120. So one more time, this is an important concept. In this dhatu adhikaraha, which is second dhatu adhikaraha, in the same meaning, you can have two pratyas giving two optional forms as long as it's not in this triyam adhikaraha. But the condition is that the pratyaya should not be exactly the same form, asarupaha. But, so here you could have tavya, aniya, giving kartavya, karaniya. You should have only had the form karyam only, nothing else, because ruhal or nyat specifically says that following a rukarant dhatu, you get the nyat. But so you could not get any other ya in this same meaning. But Pani specifically says the 3-1-1 vibhasha kuru vishoho. Vibhasha specifically Pani says you can use the pratyaya kyap also. So by 3-1-120, the word, so when you get kritya, the word kritya at 3-1-120. So I know we're not doing too much grammar, but these are very important points that we need to know. So kritya is 3-1-120, and along with karyam, and of course you get the tuk agamaha, rasvasya piti kriti tuk, rasvasya piti kriti tuk. If you have rasva, of course rasva means ach only, followed by a pratyaya which is a krit pratyaya, which is a pit. Pratyaya was kyap over here, kyap. Pratyaya kyap has been used. This kru plus kyap, so this kyap, of course, halantyam dashapatadite, but it was a krit pratyaya, a krit pratyaya also, because adhikara krud a thing, the kru plus kyap is what gave us this one, kru plus kyap, kritya, rasvasya piti kriti tuk agamaha. Again, the Bahuvari compound, krutam yena saha, one who has done what is basically I'm fulfilled, I'm done. So whatever was to be done, I have done it. So this is the commentary which is saying is here as Balinatha gives this commentary, Kritakrityasya. What is basically summarizing for you is that the fact that I have done these two things in the first line means that the entire summary was given Balinatha Kritakrityasya. So for me, who has reduced my father's enemies into ashes and who has handed over the earth along with the oceans to the appropriate, to those who are fit to receive it, means what? Means that Kritakrityasya me. So he summarizes the whole thing. He summarizes in nicely saying Kritakrityasya means I am fulfilled, I am accomplished, I am done. Nothing else for me to do, because I took care of my father's enemies. I mean, of my father's sankalpa, and also I removed all the evil kings from this earth and gave back to those who deserved it. Kritakrityasya me, then parameshthina, paramapurushena ahitaha, kritaha, vijaya viparyaha means jaya viparyaha. So jaya is of course victory, viparyaha means opposite of that is parajayaha, apishlagyaha. Again, the shlagya is also the same pratyaya which is coming here, ruhal or nyat, ashasyaha. So dhatu shas. Ashas is praiseworthy. Ashasyaha eva. So if you look at the meaning of ashas, let's look at that for a second. So the same kritya pratyaya is coming there also in that. So shlagya. So dhatu will be shlag. Let's see if this one is working. Okay. Dhatu shlag and dhatu ashas. Dhatu shlag and dhatu ashas. So you get okay, shlag. Shlag in this meaning. Shlagya, yes, the shlagya also is here. Shlag is to praise, to extol, to applaud. You take shlagya, means praiseworthy. Shlaganiya also you can have. So praise, see, ruhal or nyat. See the same thing with ruhal or nyat, we just saw that. Kritya pratyaya, shlagya, which is praiseworthy. And if you look at the dhatu shas, shas means also to mean to rule, etc. Yes, Vasu. Shas. So ashas, yeah, we can look at these two also. Asha is to bless, is to desire, to hope, to expect. So ashasya means is let's look at ashasya also. This is next one. to be obtained, to be blessed, to be wished for, to be desirable, to be wished for. So it is asha, is thing to be wished for, desired. So this is is a blessing, is a benediction. Okay, it's a benediction for me, blessing, a benediction. So basically, this thing which is defeat, which you have handed over to me, this defeat which you handed to me, is really praiseworthy. This is a blessing for me. It's something which should be wished for, So this is something which should be longed for. So shlagya, asha, syaha, that's also both the potential participle, we just saw that. Then simple compound here, jayasya viparjayaha. Viparjayaha means, again, pari plus the ayaha as a dhatu. I think you can use the dhatu. The two dhatu, I think, is in gatau, also ayagatau. I think in should work over here. So viparjayaha. So viparjayaha. So viparjayaha. Viparjayaha means opposite, turning around. Vipari is to like around. Viparjayaha means opposite, turning opposite. Viparjayaha. Look at what viparjayaha. Viparjayaha means opposite of victim is defeat. Reversed, inverted. Viparjayaha. The contrary inversion. So jayasya viparjayaha means it is the opposite of. So we use the commentary parajaya, straightforward. And then parameshthina, paramapurushena, parameshthina. This is an interesting word here now. I just read it from this Amara Kosha will give this bit of a, because parameshthin. So, I say on the Amara Kosha is a very good commentary by Bhanuji Dikshitaha. Bhanuji Dikshitaha is the son of Bhattuji Dikshitaha. So Bhattuji Dikshitaha, who of course wrote the Visiddhanta Kumi, etc., his son, which is Bhanuji Dikshitaha. Bhanuji wrote a good commentary on the Amara Kosha, very nice authoritative commentary, and a lot of these good words. He'll explain where all these words come from. One of the first places you should go to get these, the proper meaning of these words. So Parameshtin should be here. Let me look at Parameshtina. The Parameshtin is 816. Okay, Parameshtin. Let me read out what it says. Parameshtin. Okay, next page. Okay, so Parameshtin, Parame, Vyomni, Chidakashe, Brahmapade Vatishtati. So Parame Tishtati, Parameshtin, Parame Tishtati. Paramestaha Kit is Unadi Sutram, iti ini pratyaha. So becomes pratyaya, ini comes, so stha becomes Parameshtin, and then Tatpurushe Kriti iti stha sni srinam iti shattam. So it says aluk. This is strange, and let me put this, what is this? Parame tishtati. So he made Paramapurusha, Paramapurushena, Parameshthina. But it's a little bit of complicated form. We won't go through all the steps, just give you a general idea of this. Is Parame Tishtati. The Vigraha Vakyam is given Amar Kosha is Parame Tishtati. Parame Tishtati. Parame Tishtati is equal to Parameshtin. And giving you in brief over here is that the ini pratyaya has been added. So this is Unadi Sutram. Unadi pratyaya has been added ini. So the Unadi number here is given as Unadi 4.10. So Parame Sastha becomes Parameshtin. And it says, the Sutram says Kit. So what has happened is that Dhatu was Stha at the Pratyaya in, which we made a Kit specifically, we made a Ato Lopa iti cha. So you have to apply the Ato Lopa iti cha, which is that if you have an Akarantamangam and forward which pratyaya with ajadi kitinit, then it takes lopaha alone tasya, so that becomes thin. And then one more complication is that parame, normally in the compound, as we have seen many times, by supo dhatu padvidikayoho should take supluk. In this case, it is not taken supluk. It is not taken supluk. One of the ways to justify that is that this, as I said, in 6.3 adhikaraha, when something is happening in the pura padam of samasaha, then we have to go to 6.3.14. Tatpurushe Kriti is aluk samasaha. So it's a complicated form. So 6.3.14. Aluk samasaha. 6.3.14. Aluk. aluk samasaha. Actually here, I think if, give me 1 second, I think the Tattvabodhini has given a different interpretation of this one. This is not the only way. Aluk samasaha, so parameshtin. The good thing about the Unadi Kosha is that you also have the commentary Unadi Kosha and Siddhanta Kaumudi. Siddhanta Kaumudi is a complete text, as I said to you. The Unadi Sutram here is that Paramestaha Kit. Paramestaha Kit is Unadi Sutram. Unfortunately, Unadi Sutrani, there is different ordering conventions. So that makes it a little bit difficult. So you have the Parame Kit. So it's number 458 in the Siddhanta Kaumudi. Siddhanta Kaumudi, Unadi is 458. Let's see, Unadi 458. Okay. Tingante. Okay, Unadi 458. Unadi 458 says Parame Kit. Says Parama Shabde Upapade Tishtathet Inihi Syat Kit Syat Kitvat Atolopaha Atolopiticha. And then he gives another sutram which says about to do the Haladantad Iti Aluk. So let's go to the Aluk. So we have to make the Parame is Aluk Samasaha. There are two different ways that two scholars are given the Aluk Samasaha. The section is in 6.3. Aluk Samasa is the Aluguttara-pade. 6.3.1 starts Aluguttara-pade. There are two rules over here, which Haladanta Saptamyaha Sanyayam. Haladantad, like Yudhishthiraha, Yudhishthiraha. Haladantad, Saptamyaha Sanyayam. Saptamyantam is there, Sanyayam, referring to a particular person. This is what the Tattvabodhini gives, and this one Tatpurushe Kriti Bahulam is given in either way. So 6.3, we have to somehow justify the Aluk Samasa. So 6.3.10, 6.3.14. So 6.3.10, 6.3.14, 6.3.10, 6.3.10, 6.3.14. We can use the Aluk Samasa. And finally, you have to justify the Shattam of this one. So it's for 8.3.97. Purani is a specific rule for this to justify the Shattam. 8.3.97. 8.3.97. 8.3.97. 8.3.97. 8.3.97. This one says that Amba go bhumi savya padvitra, and it says sthaha. So let's see. Should be somewhere here. Should parame. If the stha follows parame, you get the shattam. So 8.3.97. So 8.3.97 is specific rule. 8.3.97. 8.3.97 is 8.3.97 says that amba go bhumi savya up dvi tri ku sheku shanku angu nyu parame iti etebhya uttarasya stha shabda sakarasya murdhanyadesha bhavati. So ambashtha etc. and becomes the parameshtha. So as long as parama is there following that, parame is there following the stha becomes shtha. So 8.3.97. 8.3.97. So why could we not just use our usual adisha pratyayoho? So anyway, 8.3.97 has to be used because that adisha pratyayoho, as I said to you, has a condition which is that it is the negation is that if the sakara is a padadi sakaraha. So if it is a padadi sakaraha, then it will not take this one shattam. So this anyway. So we have to use 8.3.97. Okay, let's not get too complicated. Not too complicated. So forget what I just said. Just 8.3.97 has to be used. That is the important thing. Is a special rule 8.3.97. So it says parame follows the stha becomes parame stha parameshtin. So 8.3.97 following makes it. So because this shattam can get complicated. But this specifically Purani says parame is there, you have to use. So 8.3.97. So parameshtin is the final form. Let's see how we're done here. So parameshtina is apotitya ekvachanam parapurushena tvaya ahitaha is kritaha. Ahitaha. So dhatu is adha. Means like placed. Adhanam is to place. So ahitaha. What only happens, dhatu is dha, it takes the hi adeshaha. Dadater hi. Sutram so ahitaha. you get the form ahitaha, it is from adha, is to place, to put down, or to bring about, in this case, bring about, is placed, deposited. So it is given, imparted, comprising, performed or done. See the last mean, ahitaha. Only thing special here is that the dhatu dha was there, and the only thing is here is that the dha takes the hi adeshaha. This pratyaya, nishtha pratyaya has been used. So here is the takara, the kit pratyaya, the dhatir hi. So 7442. The dhatir hi 7442. So ahitaha you have to use 7442. Ahitaha 7442. 7442. The dhatir hi. Okay, let's see. Let's do some. Again, we didn't go through all the grammar, but I went through enough. Trying to keep it as short as I can. So there are plenty of points over here. So so it says that Kritakrityasya, for me who is fulfilled, Parameshthina, Paramapurushena, by you who is the Supreme Being, situated in the Supreme, Parametishtati, Parametishtati iti Parameshthin. So this is for you who is situated in the Supreme. So by you who is situated in the Supreme, this defeat which has been handed down to me is really praiseworthy. It's really a blessing for me. So that is what the meaning is. Okay, let's bring in our yes Nagaraji.
Namaste. Yeah, Parameshti in the Amarkosha, it says Brahma Prabhu Surajeshta Parameshti Pitamaha.
Yes, it comes under it comes as a Brahma, as for Brahmaji. Brahma Prabhu Surajeshta, yes, correct. Parameshti, yes. But
so here it's not the meaning.
No, it's not Brahmana. No, it's not Chaturmukha Brahma. Yes, no. But it can be used in other meanings also. Yeah, correct. In what Naraj is saying is that yes, it is used in Amar Koshaha to refer to Brahmaji. But here it is not the Chaturmukha Brahma. It is Brahma. It is not. It is used for Sri Ramaha. Parameshtan, even though Amar Kosha is just in one meaning, but if you look at the etymology, anybody who is situated in the Supreme is used. So Parameshtan is used for Brahma, but here it is not used for Brahma. Okay, let us go to the here. Let's see. Okay, what is to me? What is to me?
To me,
May. Who have reduced to ashes.
Vasmat Krutavataha.
Krutavataha. And then the next one is that the haters of my father.
Pitudvishaha.
That is the Dvitiya version. Pitudvishaha. And then and have given away to deserving persons. That is the Parthasat Krutavataha.
Parthasat.
Parthasat Krutavataha. Same Krutavataha goes there. Sat Krutavataha. And then the earth. What is the earth? Is
Vasudham.
Vasudham. Okay, I got that. So Vasudham. Bounded by the oceans.
Sasagaram.
To deserving person. That is the Parthasat.
Parthasat.
Even is this. Api. The reverse of victory.
Jaya Viparyayaha.
Jaya Viparyayaha. Viparyayaha is reversed. Jaya is victory. Jaya Viparyayaha. Made or caused. Is that this one?
Ahitaha.
And the commentary was Krutaha. So Ahitaha made caused. By thee is
Tvaya.
The Supreme Being
Parameshthina
is certainly. What is certainly? This one. Eva, certainly. Commendable is?
Shlagya.
Commendable. Okay, thank you. So that is the one. Now, as usual, we only have 5-10 minutes left. So let me just give you the next lokaha and see what's difficult there. Says that, okay, Tadgatim matimatam varepsitam punyatirtha gamanaya rakshame pirayishyati navang khili krita sarga padyatir bhogalolupam. Tadgatim matimatam varepsitam punyatirtha gamanaya rakshame. Pidayishyati namam khilikrita sargapaddatir bhogalolupam. Tad gatim. He matimatam vara. Matimatam vara. I think matimatam vara is a sambodhanam here. Of course, matimatam is shashti bhavashanam. Matimat is like dhimat of those intelligent ones. Oh, best of intelligent ones. Vara is the best. So, oh, best of the intelligent ones. It is hey Rama. So, it's matimatam vara is saying for hey Rama. Vara is so it's the best of the intelligent ones. Matimatam vara. Ipsitam. Ipsitam is which is here aptum ishtam. She desired to be got. Ipsitam. So so tad means tasmat means therefore. Gati means my movement. And this he matimatam vara. O Rama, you who are the best of the intelligent ones. This gatim is ipsitam, which is it is desired. It is desired to be got. So ipsitam. For what? Punya tirtha gamanaya. Punya tirtha is the holy pilgrimage, holy sites of pilgrimage. Tirtha gamanaya. For the purpose of going to these pilgrimage sites, rakshame, protect my movement. So, O best among intelligent ones. So therefore, O best among intelligent ones, protect my movement, which is desired to be got for the sake of, for purpose of going to the holy places of pilgrimage. And then next thing it says that Sarga paddhatihi is the path to heaven. Paddhatihi like the road. Dhatu han, pad plus han. We strike your feet. Paddhatihi means it's the path. So the path to heaven. Khilikrita, which has been blocked. Again, the khilikrita again is the same pratyaya chvi. Chvi, which you're going to see, which you were saying with durgami kritapi. Durgami. So khila is durgama, which is difficult to cross. So this path to heaven, even if it is blocked, khilikrita, no pidayishyati mam, will not trouble me. It will not bother me. It will not bother me that my path to heaven has been blocked. Because abhogalo lupam. This is going to be Vasu. Next time Vasu will do this one. Young look pratyas come over here. Pratya dhatu lup. So lo lupam. Young look has been used pratyach. So alo lupam. So lo lupam and lo lubham. One is very greedy. So bhogalo lupam is bhogesh lo lupaha. One is very greedy for sense enjoyments. But I am abhogalo lupam. I am not interested in enjoyments. So this path to heaven, if it is blocked, it will not bother me. Not bother me. The path to heaven is blocked because I am one who is not interested in enjoyments. So see, please, hey matimatamvara, O best among intelligent ones, gatim raksha, protect my movements. And tat is tasmat, from the prior shloka tasmat. And because this for the sake of gamanaya, sake of going to punya tirtha gamanaya, the holy places of pilgrimage. And if the path to heaven is blocked, it will not bother me because of the fact that I am not hankering after pleasures. Commentary is straightforward. Tat is tasmat, there tasmat karanat. For that reason, he matimatam vara straightforward. Vara is shrestha. Matimat pratipadikam, best among the ones who are endowed with intelligence. In punya tirtha gamanaya, no commentary, straightforward. Then ipsitam is aptum mishtam. Okay, homework for next time. Okay, homework. Homework is that this one, the ipsitam is this, when you do the abhyasa karyani, all those rules that we normally look at, there is this dhatu ap. Look at 7-4. So, okay, next time's homework is ipsitam. Look at 7-4-55 ipsitam. Okay, so ipsita. Ips, which you get the dhatu ips. With this you get abhyasa lopa has taken place here. So ipsa. Look at 7-4-55 for homework. That's one homework. And then, so Ipsita, of course, we had Nishtha Pratyaya over there. Then other thing is this, Ipsitam is Aptum Ishtam, is the San Pratyaya, desired to be got. May state for Mama Gatim. Again, look at how beautifully he does the Padanvayaha. Me gatim mama gatim raksha palaya. So palaya, straightforward. And then kintu, khili krita, we just saw in today's class, but chvi we saw 5450, asya chvav. Same as, so revise that for next class, 5450, 7432, 7432, asya chvav. So that's same homework again. Good, we have some practice next time again. So 7432, asya chvav. So it is khili durgami kritapi, sarga paddhatihi, no commentary. Abhoga lo lupam is bhoga nispruham. So bhogish nispruhaha, Bhavri compound, nirgata spruha yasya means one who is not hankering after. So bhoga nispruhaha means nispruham means one who has no longing for pleasures. Qualifying mam. Again, look at how beautifully he puts the adjective before the Sarvanama Shabda, before the noun. If it is a noun over there, you can put it after that. So adjective, pronoun, noun. Adjective, pronoun, noun. So here we have adjective, Bahuri compound. No, not Bahuri. Take it back. This is Bahuri. Bhoga Nispruha is Bahuri. This one not Bahuri. We'll see it next time. We'll give it to Vasu next time. Young look Pratyaya I have taken here. So this is young look has happened, Pratyaya has taken here. So it will not bother me who is not interested in pleasures, na pidayishyati. Therefore, he summarizes it, ataha. Therefore, tam eva jahi ityartaha. So because Sri Rama had given him a choice, which one should I destroy with my arrow? So by saying that it will not bother me, if the path to heaven is blocked for me because I'm not interested in pleasures, he implies that ataha tam eva sarga paddhatim, that path to heaven, jahi, so destroy that, kill that, block that path to heaven. This is what is implied. By saying it will not, first he clearly says, rakshame gatim, so protect my movements. I want to go on a pilgrimage. But this will not bother me if the path is blocked, which means that please, you can go ahead and destroy that one, the path to heaven, because I'm not interested in pleasures. Okay, so homework next time, this we will do the Eeps Dhatu 7455. Again, we'll practice same thing, this 5450 and asya chvav, practice that. Okay, lo lupam is the sutram young, this is for Vasu, yangochi. This is young look pratyaya has been used, and yangochi. So we'll do that one also next time. Yangochi. That's the last homework, then we'll stop. Is yangochi. Yes.
Yeah. Ipsitam, we have done it already in one of the earlier slokas. Panini also uses Katri Ipsitam and Karma.
Yeah, and also in Gita also. Prepsuhu comes in Gita. So yes, Gita is there, correct. Panini, very good. Panini Sutram is there. Thank you. So anyway, so next time 2474, we practice for 2474 is lo lupaha. So lo lupaha we'll take for homework next time. Lo lupaha. So this one is the young look, which again was to remind me very nicely in one class, which is good. So lo lupaha.
We did
So,
that with Pepiyamana.
yeah, correct, exactly. Pepiyamana, correct. So that is the one we'll do next time. We'll practice some of that. So you can derive that from 2474, young look. And what Vasu is saying is that we have the form Ipsita is in the Karaka section. Panini has used the word Ipsita himself. Kartuhu ipsita tamam karma. Kartur ipsita tamam karma. So it's coming in 1.4 starts Karake or 23, and there it says Kartur ipsita tamam karma. It will be here. Here it is. So Panini used the word ipsita in 1449. Okay, let's stop with that. So Ramo Rajamanis Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Vijay Ramena Bhiyata Nishachara Chamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha Rama Nasti Paranam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham Rame Chittale Sada Bhautame Bho Rama Mamudhara Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranam Tatulyam Rama Nama Varamane Shri Rama Nama Varanana Onnana Iti. Okay.